My name is Tafan Hong. I'm the head instructor at the Way the Shadow Martial Arts Academy. I'm just a Ninjutsu instructor teaching our particular style of Kage no Michi Ninjutsu here in Torrance. I started doing martial arts at age 8 under Benny the Jet Urquidez. He was a family friend of mine, so my mom kind of got me in that martial arts studio when I was really, really young, and I was there for a few years until my family kind of sort of fell apart, so I was out of martial arts for a while. I actually got into ninjutsu when I was about 18 years old, and I've been doing that pretty much ever since. Weapon, cover, not wrist, no. My goal was to create a martial art that is based, of course, on ninjutsu because I love the strategy that makes ninjutsu what it is, but to modernize the movements so that it will be more applicable in a modern day situation. Now we're not using swords, we're using knives and guns, so our body movement has to change and adapt for those different kind of weapons, for example. I've never had the need to actually use my martial arts abilities in a combat situation. Have a couple close encounters, but nothing where I've ever had to use it, unfortunately. Because in the Bujinkan, there's a saying that says, do not look for a fight, but when you're in one, revel in it. Because it's not something you want to look for, certainly. And myself, my personality is not the type that I put myself in those situations. I don't go to bars, I don't drink, I don't go to clubs. But for me as an instructor, it helps me in a lot of ways when it comes to dealing with outside situations, like having to be disciplined with my child, for example. So it's those life skills that kind of have a tremendous impact on your outdoor life when it comes to being outside the studio.
The KTLA News at 10 back with real-life Karate Kids. It was an attempted robbery. 5 guys decided to rough up some teens for their cell phones. But as you can see, these are no regular teens.
We don't need them to, break their arms or, take them down, hold them till the cops get there. Our primary focus is that they get out of it safely.
In the end, the 5 muggers ran from the 3 ninjas. The muggers were beaten, bloody, and exhausted. Police easily identified them and took the muggers into custody.
Yeah, it's very, well, I don't want to say liberating. It's not really liberating, but it is in a certain capacity, the ability to pass on something that you've created, and seeing that style come to life is very amazing. That's like the biggest obstacle. There's so many things that get in your way of that. Students always leaving because of their life changing and things like that is always a complication. Just the business in general, having to have a facility and things like that, making that happen is a complication. But so far we're doing okay and overcome those obstacles. You know what? Shasta, my wife, practiced for a while. Before I was a black belt, when I went to the Duksu school, she actually trained with me there for a couple years. But now, since we have our son and things like that, her training has kind of fallen off. Of course, my son is super small. It'll be 2 years on the 25th this month. And he tries to train. He lines up, he runs with the class, he does punches and kicks. But I don't have any direct family members that train along with me yet. Hopefully my son will, but no pressure. Which spot? And Kisa.
We can now bestow upon Sensei the highest attainable rank in the Kage no Michi system of Soke.
Yeah! I don't put a lot of weight into the title. It doesn't make me any better of a martial artist, certainly. It just is basically a title that just is an indicator of who I am in relation to the system. So I don't walk around saying, hey, I'm the grandmaster of this. To me, I feel like it's an undeserved title, really, because I could certainly train harder, I could certainly do a lot more, I could certainly be a lot better. And the way I picture it, a grandmaster in my small brain is just someone that's just so awesome in everything. I feel like I have so much to learn in order to really embody that title. But it's nice to be recognized for having students that are black belts. In that way, it's nice, for sure. But it's nothing mystical or magical about that.